Good afternoon. Give me just one moment here. Make sure that I am live. Facebook has made some changes again, I think. All right, it looks like I am live. Good afternoon. Carol Buckalew with Inky Stampers. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the US. And I have a little card here for you today. This is, I'm just calling it an all occasion card. It involves some stamping, coloring, and a little bit of fussy cutting. You'll be happy to know that I have already pre-colored and pre-fussy cut these images, but I'm going to show you how I colored them. Hey Mary, thanks so much for joining. I have used the Thoughtful Expression stamp set along with the Delicate Forest dies. And these are both carryovers from the last mini catalog. Oh, thank you, Mary, appreciate it. Mary, I think you just used these delicate dies on a card recently. But I have used this large frame die in the Delicate Forest dies. I've used the two sprigs here, the leaf sprigs, and then I've used this nice long sentiment label for my card. Yeah, I happened to see that card. I love your card, by the way. Yeah, it's just a fun element. And I've done some tone on tone here, and I'm holding this card up just so you can see. I've done some background stamping directly onto the card front, and then the frame was cut in the same color. This is Lemon Lime Twist, and I really wanted to keep the background toned down just so that the hummingbird and the flowers could really pop. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do some stamping, and then we're going to do some coloring, and then we can put our card together. Set that frame aside. So this is my card base. It is a standard card base measuring 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it down the center at 4 1/4. Hi Faith, thanks for joining. And this is my inside panel, my envelope. Okay, well, let's get some ink out. So Lemon Lime Twist is what I mentioned, and I'm going to use some Lemon Lime Twist ink. And I just realized I got the wrong image out on my stamp block, so let me grab the correct image. I want that small little flower, not the big one. And hopefully the dogs don't see that the Amazon guy is on the street. Hopefully they don't start barking. All right, now I have the right image here. So I've just got like the little flower sprig. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this. See a little spot on that card. I'm just going to flip it over. So what I'm going to do is I want to just stamp this image all around kind of the perimeter, and I'm going to point all of those stampings towards the center of the card, maybe vary the height a little bit, and just get this stamped all the way around. So the heat is still gripping us here in the Northeast, I'll tell you. I think we're going to get a break tomorrow, but only because we're going to get rain. But I'll be grateful. And then I think it's going to like be in the high 80s, mid 80s or something like that, maybe over the weekend. And then it looks like next week is going to be really, really hot again. I am so over the heat. I am already ready for fall. I'm a fall lover, and yeah, I'm so ready for fall. All right, so that is our card front. Whoops, I need that ink. And then our little frame is going to go over top of that. So I just wanted a peek of these flowers. And I'm okay if there's a little bit showing around the edges of that frame. Let me open. I wasn't ready to close this. I don't know why I did. This is my envelope. I'm going to take that same image. 115. Oh my, Mary. That is just, yeah, craziness. So I'm just going to stamp this little image in Lemon Lime Twist 2 times. on my envelope front. And then I'm going to grab that. Oh, you know what? I want to do this same image on my envelope flap. And I'm just going to turn it on its side and stamp it once there on the flap. And that will be good. 105 where you are, 109 tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I know. It's just terrible. This is like August weather. Not, well, July can get hot. I shouldn't say that. July can get very hot. So this is my inside panel, and I'm just stamping this image in the upper right and lower left corners. And then I'm going to come back with some shaded spruce ink so I can close my lemon lime. Yeah, just crazy, crazy hot. Kind of feel like we didn't even get to enjoy like the early part of summer. We just kind of went right into heat. But sometimes I guess that's the way it goes. So I've got here some shaded spruce, and I'm going to take that same small floral image and just stamp right between the lemon lime twist. Whoops. Just like that. That's our inside panel done. And let me just do the envelope front. There we go. I keep getting like a glance like I've got ink on me. And I'm looking at my hands, but I don't. Not yet anyway. Give me time. Give me a minute. And I'll have ink on me. So that is our envelope done. And what do I need here? I need a sentiment label. And again, I cut this sentiment label from the Delicate Forest Dies. And our sentiment just simply says, what does it say? Enjoy your day. And let me see if I can get this first go. I apologize if I'm off screen. I need to pull this to me just a tad more. I did cut an extra, so we'll see how I do. I can't get it to line up there. All right, let me see here. Shoot for straight. Let's see how I do. Oh, not too bad. Shoot, I impressed myself. I'm surprised that I got that first go. All right, do I need this? I don't think I need the shaded spruce anymore. I think we're done with all of the stamping, except for stamping the bird, the hummingbird, and the flowers. And I did need that stamp that I just put away. Of course I do. I don't know why I didn't think I needed it. And my stamps are dirty, so let me clean that off with my chamois here. I need a new chamois. Mine is wearing out. Mary, I've been looking for some black, like, little, you know, little towels like you use, but I haven't found any black ones. All right, put this away. There we go, and then our large image. And I'm going to stamp both the hummingbird and the flowers in Tuxedo Black Memento ink. When I have a larger stamp, I like to turn the stamp upside down and ink it that way. That way I can make sure that it's getting good coverage when I stamp it. And I just got a scrap piece of basic white here. So I did already pre-fussy cut these and pre-color them, but I did want to share with you how I colored these. On the hummingbird especially, I came back in with a fine tip black marker to do a little line work, what I call line work. If you were doing watercolor, you would call it line work. So it would be ink and line work. But I used a fine tip black marker just to accentuate the bird a little bit more. And those are our flowers. There we go. Okay. Now we are all done here with the stamp pads anyway. So for the hummingbird, I've used the light shade of Shy Shamrock, the dark shade of Shaded Spruce, and the light shade of Blueberry Bushel. And then for the flowers, I've got the light and dark shades of Melon Mambo. And then the leaves are a combination of Lemon Lime Twist and Shy Shamrock. And I used the Shy Shamrock to shade those leaves after I colored them in with the Lemon Lime Twist. So for the bird, the whole bird is going to get colored in with the light shade of Shy Shamrock. And you want, when you color this hummingbird, you want to make sure that you're preserving, I'm reading your comment, Mary. It's not black when I buy it. It's blue. And they get stained. Yes. Absorber XL. Oh, on Amazon. Well, shoot. That's easy. And then you just cut them down. Yeah. Because the issue I'm having with the chamois is that it's wearing out. And of course, I guess any kind of chamois like cloth would wear out. But it's wearing out, and it's actually like starting to leave crumbs on my stamps, which is not good. So I definitely, and I placed an order this morning, and I totally forgot to order a new chamois. But anyway, as I was saying, I want to preserve that white highlight in the bird's eye. I'm trying to bring it close enough so that you can see it. And then there's a bit of white behind the bird's eye, and you want to preserve that white too, if you can. If you don't, it's no, it's not a great big deal, but, you could always come back with your color lifter, Stampin' Blend to lift out that highlight. But just to make the coloring super easy, right? We're going to just color the entire bird with the light shade of Shy Shamrock. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to shade with that Blueberry Bushel and the dark Shaded Spruce. And I forget what kind of hummingbirds are like green. And actually, I probably should have put a little ruby red at his throat. But I think that there is a hummingbird that is all kind of iridescent green and blue. They're really beautiful. Actually, we get those around here in our neck of the woods. So I'm just trying to stay in the lines here as best I can. And then we're going to go ahead and color his whole wing. So thanks, Mary, for sharing that information. I'll have to get some of those ordered. And then I can just wash them all out right at the same time, or wash them out each night and just let them dry and reuse. But yeah, I definitely need to do something because I don't want crumbs in my ink pads, which I'm afraid is happening. I actually, and again, I placed an order this morning, and I forgot. I think I ruined my Mossy Meadows ink pad. I can still use it, but I forget what I did, and I kind of messed it up. So yeah. Anyway, so I did manage to get my order in this morning for all of my replacement Stampin' Blends because I use them a lot, and they were getting worn out. Okay, so this is the light shade of Blueberry Bushel, and I'm going to come in, and I need to look at my sample card, but I'm going to come in and kind of just brush that Blueberry Bushel across the back of his head. I'm going to come down here to this one section of wing, and it's hard to tell right now, I know, but you're going to see it better here in a minute. And I'm going to color that, and then I'm going to kind of flick out with this blue up his wing, kind of where the wing separation is. So if you can see it, there's a line, a dark line there that was stamped. So that would kind of be the first or top layer of feathers on his wing. Alrighty, so that is the Blueberry Bushel. And then I'm going to come in with the dark Shaded Spruce. And I'm going to kind of just, I'm going to kind of shade behind these wing feathers back here with the shaded spruce. Just a little bit. Very little, actually. And I'm going to come down here. Oh, you know what? I did put blue on his tail feathers. So let me do that. So, you know, if you're ever hesitant about mixing different colors of Stampin' blends, you know, I recommend that you just try it on a scrap piece of paper and see what you get, because you can get some really beautiful results by doing that. Now I'm coming back with the light shade of the Shy Shamrock, and I'm just going to blend that blue out, and I'm going to run Shy Shamrock over top of that blue again, just to blend it out. And I'm going to blend that shaded spruce as best I can. And I think I want a little bit more of the blue here, kind of to round out his neck there. And I'll come back with the light Shy Shamrock and blend that out. All right, I'm going to give that ink just a minute to dry. Here is my fine point black marker. This is a Pigma Micron archival ink marker. And what I'm going to do is I am going to accentuate here with this marker kind of these wing sections. And then the feathers that are sitting behind that top layer of feathers, I'm going to darken that as well, right behind those wings. And I'm going to show you the finished product here in a minute. But this really, really helps to make this bird pop. You know, make his wings pop. And I'm going to shade under that wing and under these tail feathers. And I'm just kind of carefully scribbling. I'm not scribbling hard. Just to make kind of those marks. And if I hold this up, you can see that the black marker really helps to define the different layers of the wings and then the tail as well. So just a little trick that I like to use, and I keep those fine tip markers around. This is the, whoops, that's not it. This is the color lifter, and I am going to swipe this across the top, the very top of his head, and then I'm going to swipe this down right along his chest, just to lighten those areas just a tad. And that is our Hummer. Thank you, appreciate it. One thing that I did also do was I used Winko Stella, and I just brushed it across the top of his head, and then I brushed it across his wings. And it really, I just like the sparkle of Winko Stella. And I'm not going all the way out to the edges. I'm just brushing a little pretty glitter across our hummingbird wings. And you probably won't be able to see that. My lighting seems dark today. I don't know if you can. No, sorry. Not able to see it in this lighting. All right, and then the flowers, super easy. And I can tell you on this image, when I fussy cut the image, I'll compare it here with my card, but when I fussy cut this image, and the hummingbird as well, I cut right up to the outside black line. I did not leave a margin around it, and I did not include these small leafy flowers. I only included the larger flowers, or the leaves rather, and then the flowers themselves. So basically the whole flower is just colored in with Melon Mambo. I started with the light shade to color those. And then I came back in with the dark shade just to put in some shadows where they were needed. And I'm not going to color that whole image. And then the dark, like for instance, this leaf is turned so it would be darker there. And then I just kind of flecked out from the center of the flower with the dark shade, just to give it a little definition. There'd be some shadow behind that petal right there. And then you can just go ahead and blend that out with the light shade again. I did come in with the color lifter on the center of the flowers, and I just kind of swipe that across the center just to lighten it a bit. I'm going to do a little something different with those centers when we put our card together. The hummingbird. Oh yeah? They're so pretty. We used to put out a hummer feeder and we don't anymore. We were battling wasps and ants, and yeah, it was just a mess. So the leaves I colored with the light shade of Lemon Lime Twist. And then I used the light shade of Shy Shamrock to shadow those leaves. And then I blended it back out with the light shade of Lemon Lime Twist. So I'm dropping a shadow because that leaf is sitting behind that leaf. And this leaf is shadowed by the flower a bit. And this one as well. So I'm just kind of pulling some of that green through there. And then I'll just go ahead and blend that green out. And it really does provide kind of a pretty combination, those two greens together. But anyway, again, my lighting is really bad today. I don't know why it's so bad, but I don't know if you can see, but it does a nice job of shadowing those leaves. I can set this aside because I did pre-cut my hummingbird and my flowers already. This is our inside panel. We can go ahead and get this put inside the card. Let me clean my glue tip off. I usually remember to do that before my videos, but I forgot today. And you know, when we used to put the hummingbird feeder out, they would fight. They would fight at the feeder. Which kind of surprised me, I guess, when we first started feeding them. I didn't realize that they would fight over the feeder, but they do. Alrighty. Mary, have you seen your bald eagle anymore around your pond? I think that would be so. Well, we see them now and then because they fish in the river that's close to us. But I haven't seen any lately. Hey, Sharon. Oh, no worries. All right, so this is our Delicate Forest frame, and I'm going to just very delicately add some glue. Had I thought of it, I could have used adhesive sheets on the back of this, but of course, why would I remember? I always forget to do that. I actually did remember to use them this week on a project. I don't remember what card it was, but I don't usually remember. So I'm just applying just a little bit of glue here and there on my frame. I don't want to adhere all those leaves down, but I do want to get a bit of glue there in those spots. And I think that's enough. So I'm going to go ahead and they get possessive, yeah, over the feeders, I know. Really funny. So I'm going to go ahead and center this as best I can onto my card. Well, I didn't do a good job at all. I didn't get that centered at all, and because I put so little glue, it doesn't want to move now. Whoop, 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 too much. I'm manhandling my card. Not good. All right. So that is our frame, our tone on tone. And then these are my little sprigs that I cut from the Delicate Forest Dies as well. And just really pretty greenery. And these are in Shaded Spruce. And let me just grab my flower and see. On my original card, I put these kind of all the way in the corner. And I think I want to bring them out just a bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put that one there. And, yeah, funny. Wildlife is funny. All right, just a little bit of glue on that sprig. And we can go ahead and put him right about there. And cap that here for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of my flower. So the only thing that's popped up is the sentiment label and the flower and the hummingbird. Domestic chores. Oh no, Sharon. Yeah, I hate domestic chores anymore, I'll tell you. The older I get, the more I hate them. Okay, so I'm going to, you can see on my original card, I kind of put it way down here in the corner, but I think I want to raise it up just a tad. Hopefully I don't mess myself up doing that, and we'll get some dimensionals on the sentiment label because I want that in place before I put my, hummingbird in place. All right, and I'm going to scooch that over to the right, kind of line it up with the edge of my frame. Hopefully get it down straight. That looks pretty good to me. And then our little hummingbird, which I did pre-color and pre-fussy cut, is just going to hover here over our flowers. And I think right about there. So I'm trying to angle his beak so that it will be over the flower. So what I did, I attached Stampin' Dimensionals on his body, and then I put just a tiny bead of glue along his beak and let it adhere to those flowers. All right, let me get these off. Where are my, I've lost my tweezers. Where are my tweezers? I need my tweezers. Here they are, they're hiding. I've started using my tweezers to get the dimensional covers off, and I have found that it is so much easier on my hands rather than trying to pick them. Of course, when you drop them, that doesn't help anything. Oh, come on, get off there. Now I'm stuck. But my hands are getting arthritic, and I find it hard sometimes to pick those covers off. All right, so our hummingbird is going to sit like that. So I am going to put just a thin, thank you, Sharon, a very thin bead of glue along his beak, and I'm going to drop him right in there. So that leaf is actually under his beak, kind of supporting it, because it is very thin. You have to be careful when you're cutting that out. But yeah. And I think, what do I need left here? I need to grab some rhinestones. So what I did was I colored some small rhinestones with the lemon lime twist marker. And actually I need my dark lemon lime twist. And I'm going to color 7 of the rhinestones. And I'm going to put 3 each in the centers of the flowers. Whoops, that guy like totally popped away. Come back here. So that's 6. And there's 7. I love that you can use Stampin' blends to color rhinestones. It's like one of my favorite things to do when I'm making cards. I love that. I love that you can coordinate. And I'm just going to drop, kind of cluster those rhinestones in the center of the flowers. Just adds a little more sparkle to the card. Kind of group them there. And then this guy is going to go right here on the end of our sentiment label, like that. And then I am going to use some white diagonal trim and hopefully tie a bow. But this trim comes unwound inside the package. I don't know how that happens. I really don't. All right. And I'm probably going to waste a bit of ribbon here, but I find it easier if I have longer pieces to work with. And let's just pull that in. This is pretty ribbon, but I want a small bow. I don't want it taking up a lot of room. Grab my ribbon scissors. My husband must be home. I just heard his phone. Let me see here, about there. And I'm just going to cut these ends short and angle them. And our little bow is going to go right there with some mini glue dots. And I'm going to put 2 down just to make sure that I've got it. Whoops. Got it secured good. With a thicker ribbon, I like to use more than 1 glue dot. And I'm going to put that right on the edge of that sentiment label. So you can see that I've moved the flowers and the greenery and the bird up towards the center of the card a little bit more compared to this one. I like this one better, I think. And I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella and I'm just going to brush the bird's head and wings with a little bit of Wink of Stella. And we're done. All done. Grab the envelopes. So an all occasion card made with the Thoughtful Expressions stamp set and the detailed forest dies. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Come back next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern for another card tutorial. Before I drop, there are new online exclusives in the online store, so be sure to check those out. And during the month of July, we are having bonus days. So during the month of July, for every $50 you spend, you can earn a $5 coupon. Those coupons will be delivered to your email address, so make sure that you save them. And then in the month of August, you'll be able to redeem those. Okay, everybody, have a great day. Bye-bye.